Hello, my name is Stephen Worzbinski, and this is my reflection journal number 2 for EDAD 610. Today, we're talking about different settings with student centered learning versus teacher centered learning. And I'm going to talk first about where I was at prior. And there, in my classroom, I've always kind of been a firm believer of student-centered learning. And most of the steps were there, but when we looked at assessments, it was still very, very formative, or very, very summative versus the formative types of assessment, and that is not one of the ways of, I should say, student-centered learning. I believe a lot in collaboration, students working one-on-one, them doing project-based learning and solving their own issues and allowing them to explore and teach themselves. But when we walked around other classrooms, it was more of, teacher does, student does, and then tons of summative assessments, and not so much a focus on formative assessments. The teachers would lecture up in front of the classroom for quite some period of time, and they would do checks for understanding here and there, but the majority of the day was the teacher speaking and then the student doing, and that was a problem. Where I'm at now, I'm at a charter school, and it's still the same to an extent. I think my classroom's getting a little bit more to the point where it's student-centered learning. I have shifted more to the formative assessments. I'm not so worried about the summative assessments because I don't need to worry about it because we do enough formative assessments. And I think the few summatives that we do are just as important. But I've learned that students do much better working with each other and teaching each other. And even, if we follow Vygotsky's theories, they learn better working with each other than me just sitting up there lecturing. Obviously, there has to be a little bit of direct instruction, but I've noticed within my lessons I do 5 to 7 minutes of direct instruction and then allow the students to explore the problems themselves. As the vice principal at my site as well, I've gone into the classrooms, and this is something that I've been kind of pushing, is allowing the students to explore themselves with the teachers. The teachers are still doing a lot of direct instruction with the students, lots of lecture styling teaching, and I'm trying to help move them gear them towards allowing the students to collaborate and explore what they're trying to learn and go from there. In my experience, when I was back in school, it was, teacher says, you do. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and I think the importance is, as long as we're moving further and further towards the student-initiated or student-driven lessons, we're heading the right direction. But I definitely would agree that I have work to do along with my staff and my site. So I will continue to work on that. Thank you.